Today I built my most technical project yet and use a wood type that looks like walnut on steroids. Enjoy! Let's build a bench. We start off by using so-called Amazakoue or Ovangkol for the base. This wood is rock hard and one of the densest on the entire planet, so my table saw really had something to chew on. Just look at that grain. This wood type really is something else. It looks like walnut had a spicy ass baby with zebra wood. Holy smokes, simply ridiculous. Once done on the table saw, I went ahead and glued the strips together in such a way that the side grain will be book matched. This way the legs will look hella refined. Next day rolled around and the first thing I did was to square off two perpendicular sides of every bar over on my jointer. And then I mill the opposite faces parallel on my table saw.
That's a nice looking veneer. That is awesome. Look at that grain. Very zebra wood like.
It's really hard to see on camera because you can feel it, but this wood is, holy shit, it's so extremely hot. This saw right here is struggling. It's a sliding table saw, it's a pretty professional one, but it's still struggling with the wood. It's crazy. That's seriously hard to mill. I'm wondering how my planer will do, or should I rather put it through the drum sander? There's not much more to do, they are already pretty square. I'm pretty satisfied with the result up until now, but still one side each to mill, and then we are basically done. Now for some sanding on my drum sander. And once that's done, I prepare the stretchers from a long border of Amazakoue. The top of the bench will be made from a solid board of olive, but over the summer it went from being straight to twisted. Here I tried around a bit to see if I could get the ends to be coplanar. Spoiler alert, nope, but more on that later. But let us first deal with the base and its corresponding joinery. We create a capital A-shaped base, where we'll join the parts using half-lap joints that we create on the table saw. After setting my angle guide to some angle that I found to be visually pleasing, I then cut my parts to rough sizes. And then I set my plate to exactly half the thickness of the Amazakoue, which I did by trial and error. And then it was off to quite a few minutes of cutting until all joinery was done. Perfect fit. Nice. Once done, I did some light sanding to not destroy the fit on my joints. Amazakoue sands really damn nicely, by the way. It's on par with olive wood in that regard. Simply amazing. And then we glue, as my grandpa always said. Nope, he didn't. But the glue up was fairly straightforward. And even though we had those angles in there, I was just using some C8 glue to assist the clamping and everything worked out. Just like a charm. Very easy. Okay, we are done gluing things up. And now here is something that I will probably regret, but I try to bring it into a proper position, a flat one, using force, as you have seen previously. I want to screw it in place, but as I have noticed before, the curvature that we've got in the board is so ununiformly distributed that it's still going to have a twist in it. Those two parts at the side are not going to be coplanar at all. They are going to be shifted, which is a problem obviously because then our little seat would shake around. So what I decided is I'm going to make this one a tiny little bit thinner, not much, but if I were to plane it on this side, that would suck because then I would have to take away probably about 1 centimeter. But this part right here, this side, is a bit better for the job. This only looks like taking away about 0.5 centimeter and then I'm going to be rather flat, even if it's not completely flat. This doesn't pose a problem because once the board gets thinner, we can force it into place easier and then there's not going to be so much tension on the bench. Yeah, now we are going to give it a shot. I hope I'm not going to regret this decision and yeah, let's make some sawdust. Wow, I honestly can't believe that it worked. The cupping is nearly gone. And I lost nearly no thickness. That's outright ridiculous. If I turn it around, the cup is still here, but from the other side, the face that I wanted to reference, it's nice now. I don't care how it worked, but it worked. And the olive is looking beautiful. Yay! I'm so glad. Oh goodness, that was my biggest concern of them all. And now that that's out of the way, I got rid of the bark on the olive wood using my beloved draw knife. Sanded the live edges using my Arbotech mini cover. And smoothed all the surfaces up to an 80 grit. There were also a few tiny imperfections and cracks in the wood that I fixed really quickly using my black Starbond C8 glue and accelerator spray. Last but not least, I ripped the Benchtop to its final size and then proceeded to further sand it up to 320 grit. And then we were already done with the Benchtop. And after that, I immediately continued working on the base by first flush trimming and chamfering all parts until everything looked A1 okay. And with that done, we enter the final stages by sanding all base parts and assembling them in a very uncomplicated glue up. And since the top will be attached to the base via threaded inserts and bolts, I decided to carve out the channels using my domino. The slits will allow the bolts to move and hence also the wood along the length of the bench. But here I had a little fail, more on that in a second. That was utterly terrible and I don't want to repeat this never ever again. I need to pay more attention to the order of operation. I should have just slotted those with my domino in before. Then everything would have looked nicely, accurately done, even from the back side. Now from the back side it looks a tiny little bit destroyed, like slots, but not really uniformly distributed and the like. But what can you do now? It is what it is. I made the best of it. Everything seems to fit nicely. And now I'm just going to clean this up using my sander a tiny little bit. And after that we are going to basically insert the threaded inserts into the base plate. And then we can finish it off. And then we are done. Finally, yes. And now for some last fine tuning with my palm router and random orbiter sander. And then I installed the threaded inserts. Yeah, that will work. It's not wobbling, nothing. It's okay. Can't complain. Now, let's finish it, I suppose. And once all fit well, I finished the whole thing using Robio monocoat. Enjoy the sight. And then we were done. And I hope you did enjoy this build, because I certainly do like how it came out. And if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I see you in the next video. Bye!